mindfulness space felt like and could look like for them. And now, because again, the conversation is more out there, people are more curious, so they're more open and saying, okay, what is this about? It sounds too woo-woo for me, but I'm willing to experiment.
Now you've been running retreats for how many years now?
5 years, so it's not
5 years.
that long, but yeah, we've supported over 500 individuals that have been part of our programs that we run every year. And we're super excited to continue supporting more and welcoming more. It's so nice to see this big difference in the world of big organizations, big players seeing the importance of bringing mindfulness and taking care of their employees, of their teams mentally and emotionally, not only physically anymore. So it's nice to see those conversations being part of like kind of everywhere now. It's exciting to be a part of this now. Yeah.
You're right that we're gaining momentum. And like you said, part of this movement, like we're together, and the more of us doing it gets more exciting because we're all adding to the vibration of this. I remember it's over 10 years ago. I want to say maybe it even was 15 years ago. I worked with a doctor that was like cutting edge at that time. No one else was thinking this way, but he called it the triad. He said, you can be healthy. We all talk about eating right and then movement, like working out. Mm-hmm. But he said at this time, and this is not that long ago. I mean, if you think about it, 10, 15 years ago, many people were not being mindful, like, having a meditation practice or a yoga practice. You don't have to meditate, but, like, are you like walking in nature? Like there's many things that create that. But when you have, so you could eat right, work out every day and still die young. Like you could have stress so high that it fails the body. And so I love that you just brought up mindfulness. So how do you integrate, like, do you have people that have never done this before and they come in and they have this experience? Like maybe share a little bit of that change that people go through when they come to your events.
Yeah. I totally would love to share. So we do have a lot of people that either they think they've been practicing mindfulness either because the organization offer you free yoga classes every week or because they have a meditation app on their phones. And that's great. If you started on that path, even though it's not consistent or a practice didn't stick to you yet, that's great that you started. But we also have people that are just like, what is this about? Why is everybody talking about it? Before, we had more people that had some idea of what the mindfulness space felt like and could look like for them. And now, because again, the conversation is more out there, people are more curious, so they're more open and saying, okay, what is this about? It sounds too woo-woo for me, but I'm willing to experiment. So they come on a trip and we did that kind of on purpose. We have different aspects to attract people, but the ultimate goal is how do we teach them practical tools that they can go back home and apply in their everyday lives. That is mindfulness, that is self-development. And then how do you put that into service to your family, to your partner, to your community? So when they come on our trips, we create very well, I must say, a week together where every single activity that we are going through is intentional. It's either for that self-discovery, either is for sharing something that it's been buried inside you for a long time and you didn't want to tap into that. So we create safe spaces and activities to explore a little bit of that too. So everything is well created. We are offering tools. We are then at the same time that we are experimenting, exploring these tools, these activities during our retreats, we are then showing them how can you replicate this back home. You don't need to be in a retreat to feel this bliss or to feel that you're safe being vulnerable. How can you practice all of that back home immediately when you go back? So that's a big what we do with 109 is we want to either have you rediscover what mindfulness looks like for you or discover what mindfulness could look like for you. And how can you then just replicate this back home so you don't need to be on a retreat, you don't need to be removed from life, because that's, I think, what makes hard for people and what makes mindfulness look so far away from them to reach is, oh yeah, of course it's easy to be in that thriving mindset if I am on a remote beach in Mexico, right? And everybody here is on the same goal and in the same mindset of self-discovery, nourishing yourself, and then just feeling that thriving energy in that instead of the surviving energy. That's, I think, what we are most all the time in. So that's what we try to do. Either if you know about mindfulness or you don't, we try to introduce you to a practice that it will be as easy as possible for you to replicate back home.
That's beautiful, because it is in the daily practice. If it has to have certain exact thing, then it makes it more difficult for everyone to practice it. And we get, especially much of the world, and especially in the United States, we get caught into the grind. And then, what I found as I started my practice, and now it's been over 10 years that I've been meditating every morning, and sometimes in the evening. I don't have like a consistent evening meditation, but I have been meditating before, when I finish work, kind of thing, at the end of the afternoon, before I go to have more family time, just having that time to reset myself. Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.